Okay, so where they had the pump, where they put the water pump, and they pulled these wires out of a breaker out of here. I guess they needed it for something else. So this is video number 2 correcting the electrician who calls himself an electrician. They pulled my wires from a wired pump that were up here. They moved breakers around. I guess they needed breakers for stuff and they had to move stuff around. I see this is new. This wasn't here before. This is like a black wire and they just wrapped a whole bunch of white tape around it to make it seem though it's a neutral, because I guess they didn't have white wire. That's recent now. So this is on an isolated circuit. It's back, not sharing anymore with the water pump. And like when I first originally installed it here, I came down right here. That could be a little neater. I need to cut that off. I made a nice hard 90 turn right here, and I came all the way across and I made a 90 turn right here and I went down. The way they yanked it down from the original spot was they just yanked my wire down and put it down to here. And what that did was it pulled it across right above here. I don't like nothing close to any of this. And they had it yanked over, wrapped around here and yanked in this position coming down here. And I don't do shit like that. I make everything look nice, 90s. I tuck it back. I do stuff like this. I zip tie. This was me zip tying here. I mark my stuff, zip tie, and zip tied all along and contured, because I did that for another unit. This was my addition right here. And now my son's checking the amp draw. And so that's 2 air handlers. Oh, they're not on. Only 1 air handler is on. Okay, and this was another one they pulled. This is one also on it. Yeah, this is another air handler. So this one in here, this is where they had all the wiring messed up and they added things on. So these are 3-phase panels. So they used 3-phase panels and they only wired them up for single phase. This is the one I made another video on, where they wired my air handlers that needed 208, but they single phased these 3-phase panels, because these are actually, and what they did was they put my breaker like on a dead neutral, and it was only getting 120 volts to the air handlers and they weren't working right, and wasted a lot of time trying to diagnose that only 120 and not 208 was going to our air handlers. And that was this addition that they did right there. That was new.
No, it's 2.
Now that's 2 air handlers on. Okay.
This is the pump is going right now.
Okay. All right. And just in case, whatever funky wonky stuff they have, see, we hooked this guy up a long time ago just for our use only, just for our LG system. This was supposed to be totally just for our LG system only, so we hooked this up to protect it, voltage spikes, surges and stuff like that, and transients. And since they did some Cataly wonky half-ass shit over here, and we pretty well know we have some voltage spike taking out our units, we are going to add this little guy, and he will get added right here. I think we don't have no room there, or we could add them up there or there, and we're going to bring them down and tie them into our circuit breaker down there. So that will hopefully, whatever screw ups they do, hopefully this protects our air handler. The circuit boards you got to watch out, and communication wires. You don't go putting pumps and inductive loads that make a heavy field, a high current, and then break out with a solenoid or a contactor. And if you have your communication lines are something sensitive and they're all ran in the same conduit, and somebody runs another high inductive line next to your lines, it'll actually induce laying one line with a heavy current draw that makes and breaks, can literally induce voltage into another line, and you can take out another circuit and give you intermittent faults. And so this is what we're trying to combat here. All right, catch you guys later.